And we are live. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another live Q&A here on the Film Stock channel. It is Wednesday, July 9th, 6 p.m. on the dot. We started a stream on time for the first time, and who knows how long. Usually I'm a few minutes late. We're on time today, and damn, does that feel good. I've got two drinks. I got a water. You guys know I love a water break, but also Diet Dr. Pepper. Needed one. I'm actually going to open that right now. There you go. Beautiful. Ice cold, crispy. Can't get better than that. But let's hang out. Let's have some fun. For those who are new here, or if you're returning, basically how this works is I just hang out for like an hour to an hour and a half. You guys fire off your questions, movie-related, show-related, theme parks, food, whatever it may be. Fire off your questions. I'll answer as many as I can. Super Chat's the way to go to guarantee that I'm able to answer your question, comment, or concern ASAP. It'll pop up on my screen. It's also a huge way to just help support the channel if you're interested in going the extra mile. And of course, hit that like button. That's the easiest way to support. Just boom, hit that like button. Helps out immensely. But that's pretty much it. That's the basic of it all. The basic spiel that I usually say at the beginning of the stream. Lots to discuss. We got a Wednesday trailer today. The elephant in the room. Or should I say the plane? Oh my gosh, or is it a bird? It's Superman. That's the elephant in the room. We'll talk about that, of course. And we'll have some fun. So welcome in, everybody. I've brought this shirt out of retirement. This thing is sick. I wore this a lot in 2021, and I just haven't worn it in like 4 years for some reason. But I kind of rediscovered it. There's a bunch of shirts that I put in like retirement. I'm bringing them out of retirement. This is one of them. This is from Disneyland. It's pretty sick. It's like the MCU Spider-Man ride, web shooters. Is that what it's called? Web slingers? I forget. But anyway, Diet Dr. Pepper. I'm on that wave now. I was on Dr. Pepper Zero for a bit. Now we're on diet. But anyway, welcome in, everybody. We got 63 people in here. What's good, everyone? I see Potato Man, the right side up, was in here. They were having a spam contest. Sniper in here, as always. Emily, what's up? How you doing? Emily, first question, says, hey, Chris, hope you're doing well. Quick question. Do you think after watching the trailer, Wednesday fans are in danger of being associated with her this season? Interesting. I'm not quite sure what this means, and sometimes I misread questions. That's my bad, but I am looking forward to the season. To talk about the trailer real quick, I am very convinced this will go more on the horror side of things, delving into some horror aspects. I think there's a quote from Jenna Ortega saying that will be the case with this new season, so I'm intrigued by that. Definitely looking forward to the season. It comes out in less than a month, which, by the way, if we're looking at Netflix show timelines, Wednesday drops a full official trailer on July 9th. The season drops, at least volume 1, on August 6th. We look at Squid Game. I believe their official trailer was at Tudum, so May 31st. That season dropped June 27th. There's a trend here. It's like just a few days under a month out. So November 6th, November 26th, that's 20 days, about 3 weeks. Stranger Things Day, could we get that trailer? Halloween. I'm just thinking about that official trailer. We're going to get footage before then, probably even as soon as next week. But I'm just saying that official trailer, like the big one, it's going to be for a while. We're going to have to wait. So anyway, Sniper's thoughts on the Night at the Museum remake. I saw this. Didn't know how to feel. I've never actually seen the third movie. I've only seen the first two. Those are the ones I grew up on. I saw them in theaters, both of them actually. And I quite enjoy both movies. Sean Levy directed them. I have never seen the third. I don't know if I ever will watch it. Maybe I will. Never say never, but it was just a little past my time, right? So the first one I think was what, 07 maybe. Second one was like 09 or something like that. Maybe even 2011. And then the last one was a bit later on where I was too cool for school to go see the new Night at the Museum. So that's why I never got around to it. Everything Weather with a super chat. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. After watching the Wednesday season 2 official trailer, I know I'll be in tears if we actually see Enid on the true verge of death. I'm taking my girlfriend to see an early screening in Boston on the 30th. So hyped. Yeah, if they actually kill Enid, that would be wild. They hint at her being in serious danger throughout the season. And that's kind of, from what I gather, at least, general plot setup is Wednesday has like a vision of Enid dying. And so she's trying to prevent that at all costs. So when I was watching the trailer, I was like, I kind of dig these Detective Wednesday vibes. And that's something that I dug with the first season as well, was what I call like the mystery aspects, like the murder mystery whodunit vibes. I know that's not necessarily the one genre that defines Wednesday, but that's what I was getting from it. I was like, I'm kind of on board with this. So Definitely some creepy imagery at play. Seems like it's going more on the horror, honestly. So I'm here for it. Regarding the back half, an early screening, is that July 30th? Early screening of Wednesday? That's pretty cool. I assume you're talking Wednesday here. Awesome. Very cool. Going to an early screening in theaters of Wednesday. Very cool stuff. I hope you enjoy. And I'm curious. I assume it's going to be a 4 and 4 episode split. So 4 eps on August 6th. And then the 4, I think it's September 3rd or 9th or something like that. Sometime in September. Is it August 9th? I don't know. I have my dates all mixed up. I think it's August 6th, September 3rd. Could be off there though. But I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah, I dug the trailer, and I'm really actually most excited to rewatch this season, the first season, because I haven't seen that in like 2.5 years. The first time I watched it was when it came out, which was like right around my birthday. So end of November 22, it came out, and then I haven't watched it since then. So I got to give that one a go. My boy Trevor from Film Stock's in here with the super chat. Sunshine's from California. If you understand this reference, you're a real one. It's one of my Letterboxd top 4s. Remember the Titans, baby. He's from California. I love quoting that movie. One of the most quotable to me. I find oftentimes when I hang out with my friends, Trevor being one of them, even though he lives on the other side of the United States, Remember the Titans is quoted often. It's a staple in my house growing up. And Sunshine's from California. Classic movie for me. Dr. Pepper break, by the way. Again, Super Chat is a way to guarantee I answer your question. It's also a huge way to help support the channel. And will I be doing Wednesday reactions? Super Ando Edits asks. Probably not. I rarely react to things nowadays. Cobra Kai was special. It was just a perfect moment in time that I started reacting to it, and it worked, and I had fun with it. But a lot of shows, I feel like for me, I don't want to do that with. Like Stranger Things, obviously special to me. I probably will react to that, of course. But those two shows are different. They're kind of an anomaly. Like Squid Game, I really liked Squid Game season 3, but that's not a show that I'm going to react to necessarily because it's pretty dark. And, there's a lot of moments where, what is there to say? I'm trying to really absorb everything that I'm watching. Not to say I don't absorb things when I'm reacting, but it's just different, if that makes sense. So you also really have to focus on Squid Game. I mean, I don't watch the dubbed over version, so they're speaking Korean. I'm reading the subtitles, like I'm locked in, you know what I'm saying? But regarding Wednesday, probably won't react to it. I mean, again, never say never, but we shall see. Thoughts on Aja 2 getting an English release? Weird, honestly. That's my opinion. I would never watch an Aja 2. I won't watch that version of the movie because it's not the movie. I'm just going to watch them. Any non-American, non-English spoken film or show, I'm going to watch it in the language it's made in and then have subtitles on because I think it's taking away from the original authentic piece of art, frankly. Like, I don't want to watch someone else's voice performance of a character in Squid Game or Naja. I don't want that. So that's my take on that. That's just how I feel. I've watched clips of Squid Game with a dub, so the English actors doing voice work, over the Korean lines, and it's so dumb. It takes me out entirely. It's like I'm watching a spaghetti western or something stupid like that. So not a fan. Dr. Pepper break, by the way. Movie Fan 2002 actually just sent in a super chat. But I'll answer this first. It says, hey, Chris, what do you think is the funniest Brian and Stewie moment of Family Guy? I'll be honest with you, I'm not a Family Guy guy. Seen clips, episodes here and there, but I've never actually watched like seasons at a time or even episodes at a time, so I can't even think of one off the top of my head. Regarding the super chat, though, appreciate it. Hey, Chris, or should I say the dude? Yes, I saw The Big Lebowski this past weekend. It was hilarious. Hell yes. Welcome to the club. Great comedy. Honestly, when I first watched this movie, I was dying laughing. And then when on like future viewings, to me, the jokes actually hit harder. And the sign, the tell of a great comedy film is if the jokes hold up, and you can almost discover different layers to them as you rewatch a movie. I think The Big Lebowski is filled with those. I mean, there are iconic lines, obviously, but there are just moments in that movie that will get you so good. They'll get you belly laughing, specifically with John Goodman's character, Walter. Oh man, he's got some hilarious, just spastic moments, some quotes that'll get you going. I think he's the funniest character in the whole movie. John Turturro's character, when he's bowling as well, very funny scene. And just all around, it's such an obscure watch. It's like rare. People who might, if you're in the stream or if you watch my reviews, you might be like, Chris likes The Big Lebowski, but it is one of those movies where like, no, it works for me. It fires on all cylinders. It's a bit weird, obviously, but I kind of embrace that, especially for what they're going for. And it's the Coen brothers. Like I love that movie. I've seen it, I think, like 2 or 3 times, maybe. It just gets funnier every time I watch it, though. God, it's so funny. So funny. Is National Treasure 3 happening? Is this happening? Don't BS me, Rogers. Did you know? Come on. If this is happening, that's the greatest news ever. That's like top tier movie news. If this actually ever gets greenlit and they make it happen, that would automatically, and I'm not doing this for a bit, it would become my most anticipated movie of all time. Maybe not of all time, but it'd be up there. For the year it comes out, it would be up there. Dr. Pepper break. Edgar asks the question everyone's been dying to know: Superman or Man of Steel? I'll hold judgment until tomorrow. I'm rewatching Man of Steel tomorrow. In full disclosure, I haven't revisited Man of Steel in a decade. I'll say it. I haven't revisited it in a decade. The last time I would have watched it would have been leading up to BVS. So technically 9 years, over 9 years now. That was that March 2016 when that came out. And since then, I haven't watched the movie fully. So I'm going to call it 2015. So I'm going to call it a decade since I've watched Man of Steel. So anything I've said on the channel about Man of Steel is outdated. And I feel that way about a lot of movies. Like I in that era specifically, right? So 2014, 15, 16, like a couple of years, 3 years, 4 years before I had my channel, even 5 in some instances. Like I watched them all. I saw all these movies in theaters, like the DCEU is what I'm talking about. Haven't watched a lot of them in a long time. Wonder Woman's another one. Haven't seen in probably 8 years. So it'll be a very interesting rewatch. I'm very excited to rewatch Man of Steel. Actually, so for those who don't know, I'm working my way through the Superman movies right now. I watched 1, 2 the other day. Then I watched Superman, the new one. Then, today last night I watched Superman 3. This morning, it's only an hour and a half, I watched Superman 4: The Quest for Peace. And then I'm going to watch Superman Returns tonight. And then tomorrow I'll wake up and immediately watch Man of Steel. And then I'm going to do a ranking. So that's the video of the day tomorrow. Superman movies ranked. I'm not including BVS, frankly. I'm not wasting my time with that. I don't want to watch it again anytime soon. I'm doing movies where Superman, like Batman v Superman, is a Batman movie and a Superman movie. So I'm just doing solo Superman movies for my ranking, live action. I'll make that clear. But to answer the question, I can't off the top of my head. They're vastly different movies. What I can answer confidently, like the one thing I can confidently say, if you want me to pit these two against each other right now, and it's not even a competition, the Man of Steel score blows the Superman score out of the freaking water. They're not even in the same league, in my opinion. Now that is unfair. It's Hans Zimmer, and I think the Man of Steel score is better than like 95% of movie scores, not even just in the comic book genre, but in general. But I mean, I can think of multiple Man of Steel score moments right now where I'm like, ooh. And it never got there for me with Superman, which upsets me. And I wanted it to, but it just didn't. And if it started to swell and I was like, oh yeah, like it would be cut a little short. So that upset me. But anyway, we got some super chats to catch up on. Thank you guys for the generosity out the gate. Appreciate you. TV Spot Maker with the super chat saying, is Superman a movie you would rewatch and have for your own DVD collection, Blu-ray collection? And do you think Stranger Things 5 teaser is coming next week? I'm going to say it is, TBH. Okay, I'll answer the back question first. I am about 90% sure we're getting footage next week because Stranger Things Season 1 premiered on Netflix July 15th, 2016. Next week, July 15th rolls around. That marks the 9-year anniversary of Stranger Things first ever premiering on Netflix. So it's a reason for them to post something. It's a Tuesday, and oftentimes randomly, movies and shows will drop their first trailers on Tuesdays. And you look at last year on July 15th, 2024, what happened? We got the behind-the-scenes teaser for Season 5. So with the Ross Duffer post and him, seemingly editing the trailer, I'm pretty confident we're going to get it next week. If not the 15th, at some point around that date. And if we don't get it next week or on the 15th, I would still be willing to bet we get it by the end of the month. At that point, we won't have a date to circle and look ahead to, but I'm starting to buy into the, July 15th date. Wednesday dropped their trailer this week. They got that out of the way. The next big show to promote on Netflix is Stranger Things. And so it would make sense, especially if you're comparing timelines of Wednesday and Squid Game to Stranger Things. I believe the first Wednesday trailer dropped in April. So April, right? Then you go May, June, July, August. It's 4 months from August. Let's look at July, okay? August, September, October, November. It's about 4 months away from Stranger Things Volume 1 of Season 5. So it would make sense. It would make sense. Regarding the first part, I will watch Superman again. I'd need to watch it again, probably. I didn't love Superman, but I liked Superman, and that's what I wanted. Very rarely am I like over the moon in love with a movie after initially viewing it. Even movies that become my favorites, I got to watch a couple times to really digest. But I liked Superman. Yeah, I don't know, like, it's not a movie that I would go out and spend $30 and buy like the day it releases on Blu-ray. I don't do that much anymore anyway, though, just because of how expensive Blu-rays are. But I would own it. I would own it probably. Yeah. I mean, I liked the movie. It's better than, I'd say, how many DCEU movies are there? It's better than the majority, if not like 85, 90% of the DCEU. There's a few that I know the DCEU did better. One in particular, you guys should know. It's also from the same director. I think that movie is better than Superman. And the reason I'm not saying distinctly is because I'm going to do like a James Gunn ranking. I just gave it away, but I'm going to do like a mini James Gunn comic movie ranking, probably for shorts. Excuse me. But I like Superman. I did. Genuinely. Okay. Isaiah's everything with the super chat. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Very generous. Hello, Chris. Hope you're doing well. I know you're a physical media collector. Yes. I love watching your collection videos. I try and do one every year. Have you picked up any Criterion Blu-rays with their 50% off sale happening this month? Great question. I have not. And the reason is because it's been such a busy summer movie season where I've had like my head in the dirt focusing on watching movies and shows that I've been less focused on like buying physical media and like watching older films. Now I have been watching franchises, sort of catching up, like Superman. I watched the Predator movies, the ones I hadn't seen, that is, last month. And so I've been on it with that. Like I did a Karate Kid marathon and watched a couple that I hadn't, or only one, I guess, that I hadn't seen. But even including movies I have seen, I've been doing franchise watch/rewatch, right? So I haven't been as intentional about buying physical media, and I know the Criterion sale is going on. I don't know if I'm going to get any this year. Like I found that, what was it, 2021 probably? Yeah, I think it was 2021. I was in California with my buddy Trevor from Film Geeks, and like we went to Barnes and Noble, and I felt like obligated to buy like a couple movies just because they were on sale. And some of those movies I haven't even watched. It's been 4 years. The two of them, I want to say, I got on that sale. I haven't even watched yet. And so it just became like, it's a fine line. Like I love physical media. The older I'm getting, though, the less impulsive I'm getting with just going and pulling the trigger on things blindly to be like, oh, I'm growing the collection. Like it's taken years for me to get to that point where I'm like, I'm not just going to buy every movie. Like at this point in my life, unless a studio sends me a movie, which does happen, and that's very cool. If it's my choice to go, buy a movie or not, I need to love that movie or really like it and see myself watching it multiple times to own a physical copy of it. Like there are movies on my shelf right now that I need to get rid of. I'll be honest. There are. And I noticed that in my last Blu-ray collection. And they're a product of me just being impulsive and being like, I got to buy this. And I got to buy it. I'm doing a Blu-ray hunt. I have to buy something. And I think collectors can relate to that, right? Like I walk in the store, I got to walk out with something. And so that was a thing that it took a learning curve for me, definitely. Like I had to adjust to not being obsessed with like buying every full price new release opening day, I guess, or release day. There was a period of time, we'll call it 2018, early 2019, where I would just go to Best Buy on Tuesday and buy like all the new releases just because I like saw them and I had to own it. Like I remember distinctly, this was, I think it was either the fall. It was early 2019. We'll call it April, May, something like that. I went and I bought Into the Spider-Verse. I bought Mary Poppins Returns. I bought Green Book, and I think I bought one other movie. And I only have, like, of those three movies, I've only gone back to Into the Spider-Verse. I've watched that a couple times on Blu-ray, But why did I feel the need to buy Mary Poppins Returns? Why did I feel the need to buy Green Book immediately? I think it might have been an addiction. But I'm fine now. I'm very, intentional with what I buy. And a lot of times I've found recently, the recent Blu-rays I bought are from used movie stores. And I'll be making a trip there next week for sure, because those are a lot of fun. And I think I'm going next week actually to a used movie store, or multiple actually in the area. They always, and I haven't been in months intentionally because they get, restocked with people selling things. But yeah, I kind of just went on a whole physical media spiel there. I love Blu-rays and 4Ks and all that, but it's as I've gotten older and, with age and adult responsibilities, you have to be a little wiser with finances and where you spend money. And that was something that when I was a lot younger and didn't have as much responsibility financially, I would just be like willy-nilly with it. Oh, I'll spend $100 on Blu-rays this weekend, which is insane looking back on it. Anyway, that's life. That's the life of a collector, though. And if you're a collector, it can get expensive. So I'm glad that I kind of pulled back the reins a little bit and I have control now. But I also do think I want to get rid of some of the collection. Not all of them, because there are certain movies on the shelf. For example, Schindler's List. I bought intentionally to watch for my Spielberg journey because I wanted to own it. It's like a piece of film history. It's not one I'm going to pull off the shelf every other year. I mean, I might not go to it for another decade, really. But it's good to own. It's just good to own because I appreciate the movie. There are movies like that, and there are the movies like, the OG Star Wars trilogy, the Back to the Future trilogy, the Indiana Jones of the world, the Raimi trilogy that I like pop those discs in every year. So there's like balance to it all, but there are certainly movies on the shelf that I bought after having only seen one or two times that I might not watch for the foreseeable future. And I'm gonna name drop, and then we're gonna move on to the next question. Aquaman. Why? I ordered it on Amazon foolishly. Same can be said for the first Shazam. I got a little DCEU happy at one point in my life. There's a couple others I could think of too. Mary Poppins Returns is one of them, like respectfully. And there's plenty of other movies too. So I might purge some of the collection. We'll see. Super Angelo edits with super chat saying, "Hey, Chris, what do you think we get July 15th? I'm starting to buy in to an official teaser trailer that's on the meteor side, like a 1.5 to 2 minute teaser trailer, much like Wednesday did with its first teaser trailer. We'll see. Call me delusional. I don't know, but that's what I'm thinking, man. That's kind of where I'm leaning. So we shall see. By the way, love the Miguel season 6 profile picture. What a guy. Back to the Diet Dr. Pepper I go. Delicious. Am I going to watch Weapons? That's the Zach Cregger? Zach Cregger's? Is that his name? The new horror movie coming out in August. It's I've seen marketing for it. Don't know much about it. I've heard it's very disturbing. That scares me. I wimp out with horror sometimes, at least going in theaters where I'm like, I'm not in the comfort of my own home. I hope Sinners wins Best Picture. It won't. Something else will, I know. But Sinners might not even get nominated. The Academy does some crazy things. Nick M., what are your bottom 3 comic book movies? And does Superman 4 crack the list now? I'd have to really think on that, to be honest with you, Nick. It stinks, but I've seen a lot of half-star comic book movies which are below that. Like Batman, I don't like a lot of Batman movies. I'll say that. The Dark Knight trilogy and The Batman are far and away the best we've gotten from that world. Batman and Robin, that's on the top Mount Rushmore of worst. Or I guess we're doing bottom 3. Batman and Robin's on that list. 2016 Suicide Squad is on that list for me. I despise that movie. So those two occupy 2 spots immediately. And then you've got, like it's hard to compare something like Thor: Love and Thunder to Superman 4. Different eras completely. I mean, you could argue Superman 4 for me. I'm probably, I'm thinking like, what's the worst of the DCU? It's 2016 Suicide Squad. What's the worst of the MCU? I think it's Love and Thunder. The New Mutants exists, and I totally forget about that movie a lot of the times. That movie's an abomination. There's something, because it's an 80s movie, it's a little more charming. You can kind of let it slide a little more with, certain stylistic choices and the garbage VFX. But even then, the disjointed plot. What the hell is going on in that movie? Like Lex Luthor, is it like his nephew, like pulls up in a car and like breaks him out of prison, and then they decide to create Nuclear Man. It's a very strange movie. It's certainly one of the worst comic movies I've seen, and it's in the top 10 worst. I don't know if it's bottom 3 though. We'll see. That'd be an interesting ranking. Worst comic movies ever. And I just put the new Superman on the thumbnail. I'm kidding. I like the movie. Do not attack me. It was a joke. I'm saying someone will probably do that, honestly. Worst comic movies of all time. And it's like, it's the poster of Superman 2025 right here. And then like the Fantastic Four. And it drops like the weekend of Fantastic Four. That'll probably happen. Anyway, I'm joking entirely. Yeah, I usually go Dr. Pepper Zero, but Diet Doctor is hitting lately for me. Main Gamer says, hey, Chris, doing a double feature of F1 and Superman tomorrow. Beyond hyped. Sounds like a great time at the movies, honestly. Get a lot of popcorn and get some Reese's Pieces. Do reacts? I have a review on the channel right now. Top 3 Harry Potter films. Ooh, great profile picture, by the way. My top 3 Harry Potter films in no order are going to be Prisoner of Azkaban, Deathly Hallows Part 2, and honestly, I think I go Goblet. Goblet of Fire. Favorite show of all time? Stranger Things, baby. Hey, Chris, hashtag the craving. The streak continues. If you know, you know. If you don't, you're probably very confused. Let's hit a speed round. Indiana Jones 5 or Blue Beetle, Dial of Destiny. Because I care about Indiana Jones more. I don't like Blue Beetle. It's very forgettable to me. Not to say Dial isn't, but I'd go to Dial over it, honestly. Chris, what's a movie on your watch list you're going to watch soon? Superman Returns. I'm watching it tonight. Yeah, hit that like button if you guys are in here. Helps out a lot. Okay. What's good, everybody? Welcome. Apologies for falling a little behind in the chat there. We're going to get back on track. We're doing a little speed round, so I will get to as many questions as I can. There's no guarantee I'm going to get to everything. I won't, to be honest. Super Chat's the way to go to guarantee that I can. It's a huge way to help support the channel as well. Did I like Superman movies as a kid? Honestly, no. I didn't watch like any. The first Superman movie I ever saw was Man of Steel in theaters in June of 2013, I want to say. Never watched the Christopher Reeve movies until this week. So all I knew was Man of Steel, Justice League, BVS, and then 2025 Superman now. So no, I didn't grow up really caring for Superman. I was always Batman. I saw, I saw the Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2 in theaters, and like obviously all the MCU and Spider-Verse movies. I saw, Dark Knight Rises in theaters because I was 8 when Dark Knight came out, so it was like I didn't go see that, but I saw Rises in theaters. I saw the Batman in theaters. So yeah, I like Batman, and if we're talking DC characters, I've always leaned Batman over Superman. My main thing is it's just a personal preference. I think Superman is, frankly, kind of a vanilla guy to me. That's all right. He's kind of like Captain America. They're not my favorites. That's okay. Everyone has their favorites. I don't hate them or anything like that. I just, I'm very much interested in other characters more who operate a bit more in the gray area, have a darker edge to them. And I just think are, not as, I guess, morally right 100% of the time. Does that make sense? I like when they toe the line a little bit, just for drama's sake. Okay. Well, thank you for the kind words, Ian. I appreciate you. Thank you for stopping in and saying hello here on the stream. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Ooh, yes. And I'll answer this every time I see it because we got to manifest. Yeah, I'm also leaning Stranger Things official trailer in October. Halloween drop would be pretty sick, wouldn't it be? Come on now. Tell me I'm wrong. That would be sick. Love this question. What is your most anticipated movie for the rest of the year by month? Let me go to the good old IMDb because that's the only way I'm going to be able to answer this one without being a buffoon. All right, my most anticipated movie, and we're gonna disqualify July. We'll answer July. It was Fantastic Four coming in, and it remains that obviously because I've seen Superman now. For August, there ain't much. I guess I'll say Nobody 2. I guess. The first one was solid. For September, One Battle After Another, definitely. That's the new Paul Thomas Anderson movie with Leo. Hype for that. For October, I will go with I haven't seen the first Black Phone, so I can't say that. Honestly, dark horse pick, I'll go After the Hunt. It's the new Luca Guadagnino movie with Iowa Debris, Andrew Garfield, and Julia Roberts. And I believe Michael Stuhlbarg, who has a very minor role in Multiverse of Madness. He's also in Call Me By Your Name. He plays like the dad character. I haven't even seen that movie. I just know this from IMDb because I'm a freak and I know a lot about IMDb. For November, that's a stacked month. It's wicked for good, but I will also shout out Predator Badlands. Like that's right there. That's a movie that came out of nowhere for me this year in terms of excitement because I hadn't seen really any of the Predators except for the first, and I watched them all when I was sick, like almost a month ago now. And this movie, come on now, Trachtenberg, Prey, Prey is my shit. I'll say it. I love that movie. It's a 4.5 out of 5 for me, but I mean I could go even higher if I rewatch it and like it more. It was just awesome. And then December, I know you want me to say Avatar: Fire and Ash, don't you? I'm kidding. Wake Up Dead Man, the new Knives Out, is my favorite, is my most anticipated for December. So there you go. That was a fun, different question. I like that. Thoughts on the Project Hail Mary trailer to most anticipated movie next year until I see the Odyssey. I have not watched the Project Hail Mary trailer. Yeah, I haven't. The reason is people were saying it spoils something, like a big reveal or something like that. I haven't read the book. Will I read the book? There's like a 10% chance I'll read the book beforehand. I'm not a huge free time leisure reader kind of guy because I read so much for academic purposes in school, especially in college, that it burnt me out on reading in my free time ever. It made me actually hate it, to be honest, which is sad. I know. The thought of it, I don't care for it. Let's just say that much. So I haven't watched the trailer. Maybe I'll pick up a book now, pick up that book and read it. Why not? Who knows? But my most anticipated of next year is the Odyssey as well, which I haven't seen the teaser yet. Sickens me that I haven't. I've heard descriptions of it. My friend saw it. He said it was badass. What he described to me actually gave me chills, and I hadn't even seen it. So I will see that trailer. I might just go, like, buy a Jurassic ticket. Not buy, I say. I have AMC Stubs A-list, so I would reserve it and just walk out after the teaser. But also, I might see Jurassic again with my fiance Cam, who hasn't seen it and wants to see it. So that would be when I would see it next, I guess. Or, I mean, if it's just playing in theaters, the next time I go to the movies, I might see the damn thing. Who knows? We got a super chat. It looks like we have 2 super chats. Look at that. Thank you, guys. That is everything with another one. In your opinion, keep the Batman separate or connect it to the DCU? Phenomenal question. And this is really one that's become a hot topic online as of late. And I've shifted my perspective on this over the years. Initially, I mean, when the Batman came out, we were in the middle of the DCEU, right? And so they were crapping out like Black Adam and The Flash, Aquaman 2, Shazam 2, and then we get the Batman kind of in the middle of all that. And so, or before, I guess, even. Anyway, at that point in time, I was like, keep Pattinson and Reeves the hell away from this because that'll just ruin it. Putting Pattinson's Batman in that world would ruin the character, ruin everything. I was very opposed to it. Having seen Superman now, and that movie and that character having still like a distinct identity and a feel and a vibe, and then you watch like the 2022 The Batman film, and that also, it's very distinctly Matt Reeves with his own vibe, and it feels like his own little world. I kind of like the idea of meshing the two. Have a couple more Superman movies, maybe one more Superman movie, and then we get like the Batman 2 and Superman 2, and like the epic culmination of their... Actually, I want a full Batman trilogy. So let's not get ahead of ourselves. Ready? This is optimistic. This is my pitch. Very optimistic, wishful thinking. The Batman 2, 2027. The Batman 3, 2030. Superman 2, 2027. Probably not going to happen. And then Superman 3, I mean, the movie's going to happen, but that would be a quick turnaround. And then Superman 3, 2029. Every other year is possible. They both have a trilogy. The epic, I guess, culmination of those trilogies is a Batman and Superman movie. They're probably not going to want to wait that long, to be honest with you. But I would really like if Gotham City, it's confined, like the Batman trilogy is confined to Gotham City. The Superman trilogy is confined to Metropolis. And then like an oh my God moment is like a huge reveal of the two just coming face to face. And like, we've lived in Metropolis, we lived in Gotham. Now the two merge stylistically. They take some elements from both. Maybe, you know, part of the movie is like Superman's perspective, part is Batman's, and they're shot not differently, but tonally they feel like they embody the characters respectively that are on screen. I could dig that. Now, if I'm being blunt and honest, they're not going to do that. They're probably going to have their own Batman, and Pattinson's going to be his own thing. And that's fine, because I think that trilogy is going to be better than anything that the DCU puts out. I'm pretty damn confident in that, to be honest with you. I mean, The Batman is a special movie to me. It's a 5 out of 5. I think it's the best Batman movie I've ever gotten. And I think that if Reeves, I mean, yeah, it's a pain in the ass as a fan to wait 5 years, you know, between movies, but if he does his damn thing and his vision is sought out, that trilogy is going to contend with the Dark Knight trilogy and maybe even top it in terms of pure Batman trilogy. And so if that's its own thing, and then Superman's his own thing, and they introduce another Batman, I get it. Apologies for the sirens outside, by the way. But, you know, ideally, at this point, I think we have the opportunity to connect them, because the Reeves verse is so young. You could totally do it and make it make sense. But then I look at myself and I go, would Pattinson want to do that? Would Pattinson's Batman want to be, you know, in a Justice League movie in 10 years? I don't know. It's tough to say. Money talks at the end of the day. So obviously if they paid him enough, he would do it. But I'm just saying, my answer to this, connect the two. They won't do that though. Awesome Destroyer with a super chat. Thank you so much. Stephen King's The Institute comes out this Sunday as a live premiere on MGM. Would you check it out? If you like Stranger Things, you'll love this. The book was amazing. Also, have you tried Sprite tea? Stephen King's The Institute. I am going to look that up real quick on IMDb. I haven't even heard of this. Is that like a MGM? Is that also Paramount Plus? Let's see. Institute. It looks like a TV show. 8 episodes. Ben Barnes is in it. Okay. Ben Barnes, who Mary Louise Parker, I recognize her, I think, from the Red movies. The main guy on the poster looks like Louis McCartney from The First Shadow. Interesting. Okay. A teen genius, this is the synopsis. A teen genius wakes up in a strange place full of children who got there the same way he did, and who all, like him, possess unusual abilities. Interesting. I mean, that's an interesting setup for sure. Ben Barnes is kind of the man. He's also really great as Russo in the Punisher show. Fascinating. Definitely intriguing. Hadn't heard of this until now. I might have to keep an eye out for it, see what the people are thinking. What are the streets saying about it? Will it sway me? Will I let a tomato meter sway me like everyone else in the world? No, I'm kidding. Regarding the Sprite tea, I have not tried Sprite tea. I've actually been drinking Sprite Zero a lot, though. Kind of like at night, if I want to have like what I call a sweet treat, and I don't want to eat like something with a ton of calories in it, I'll have a Sprite Zero, and it satiates me. And it fills you up, the carbonation, and it's tasty. Sprite Zero is good stuff. Nate plays with a super chat. Thank you, Nate. That's a cute puppy in the profile picture. What's your thoughts in theory, about the three-headed dragon in Stranger Things? Do you think they will actually introduce it? So I made a video about this, I don't know, about a month ago. And I brought up a lot of different viewpoints and kind of the discussion at the time after that, you know, To Doom date announcement footage came out. And a big takeaway was it's very possible. The artwork, obviously, the painting that Will draws or paints rather for Mike in season 4, could that come to life? It's a hot topic. It's a very relevant discussion point, and I believe that could be the case. I'm starting to buy in that some version of that painting we'll see in live action, and it's all been building to that, because throughout the seasons, D&D has always kind of gone hand in hand with the real life events or characters or creatures from the Upside Down that the gang faces off against. And so, yeah, I'm kind of buying into that, honestly. And I think they could introduce it. Now, the one con of that is it might be too unrealistic and embracing the fantasy side too much, which could take some people out. But I'm on board with whatever the Duffers do, because I trust the hell out of them. They've earned my trust through 4 seasons. And so I'm more willing to, you know, embrace something that might be somewhat of a stretch, because I think they've earned it as storytellers and creators of the show. So we'll see, but I am thinking we're going to get that dragon, which is wild. And, you know, who would have thought when season 1 came out? Let's do a speed round, catch up in the chat a bit. Again, thank you guys for being patient. If I haven't got to your question, I'm trying to get to as many as I can. Super chat's the way to go to guarantee I get to it. But let's do a speed round. What say you? All right. Leanna's in the chat. Shout out, Leanna. I did see they're destroying Hawkins' lab in real life, which is a bummer. They're destroying a bunch of the filming locations. The school, the lab, hopefully those are the only 2 ones because I love going to those locations. I wish everyone had the chance to get to them. Okay. Never say never. Eddie could come back, but I feel like that theory had its day, and it might be gone. It might be too late, honestly. Have you seen Ironheart? I have not watched Ironheart yet. It's one of those shows that I didn't get around to when it came out. I mean, hell, it took 2 weeks and the whole thing was out. They dropped 3 episodes one week, 3 the next week. I heard mixed things. I know a big spoiler about the show from social media, a certain character who appears in the finale, but I don't know what happens in the show itself. So I don't really have the urgency to watch it right now, but I will watch it by the end of the year because it is an MCU project, and I do that with all of them. I put myself through some things for the MCU. Oh, man. Shoot. Joey says, what would your top 3 most wanted Cobra Kai spinoffs be? I think I made a vid about this right when the season came out. And a couple that I would say, I'd love to see a little mini series with, like the adventures of Sam LaRusso and Miguel Diaz in Okinawa. Binary Bros spinoff would be fun. And then like a Miyagi prequel. Those are 3 that I think could really work in that universe. Dr. Pepper break. Thank you, Bianca. I appreciate that. Love the Fantastic Four representation in the profile pic, and you got 2 of maybe the coolest ones. Love the dynamic between these 2 characters that we've seen in the footage so far. Rafa Man says, hey, random question. Have you ever seen Scarface with Pacino? If so, what'd you think? I've seen Scarface with Pacino. Watched it, I think, as a part of my 100 movies I missed journey, or even before then, but I have seen Scarface. I remember it well. And the eyes, Chico, they never lie. Yeah, it's a quotable movie. It's a bit overlong, but it's fun and dark and kind of a mob movie that you know, it's entertaining. Let's say that much. Yes, I'll be reviewing Wednesday. So we're going to have volume 1 and volume 2. I'm going to review both of them. Probably do spoiler reviews as well. And after the season's out, I might do a character ranking, maybe a season ranking, but there's 2 seasons. So it'd be more of a video. It's like, what's the better season of Stranger Things? Because there's only 2 seasons. What do I think about Murray and Joyce as a duo? Underrated. Murray as a character, severely underrated, underappreciated. You guys hear that? Some sort of, hold on. There's like a video playing on this computer over here. What the hell? All right. That was weird. Cam's desk is over there, and like a freaking episode of Avatar started playing randomly. I don't know if you guys knew that she was watching Avatar: The Last Airbender. I heard a voice. I was like, what? Am I losing my mind? And then it was like the Avatar intro. That was a little weird. Anyway, we're back. That actually scared me. I was like, am I hearing things? August and September are going to be slow months for movies. Yeah, man, they really are. I'll be honest with you. I think October is kind of slow too. So we're going to have 3 slow months until November. That's kind of usual. Thankfully, we have a lot of shows to talk about in the fall. And what else do we have? We have Stranger Things. So yeah, that's going to occupy a lot of my time. Like once we get a trailer, like I'll be talking about Stranger Things a lot more because there won't be much to talk about in the world of movies. I'll cover like Wednesday as well. There's some other shows that Peacemaker comes out, and there's like one other big show, Alien Earth, that comes out in August. So a lot of interesting shows coming out, but movie wise, it's going to be slow for a couple months after this month. Okay. Jurassic Rebirth was atrocious. I got to watch that Odyssey teaser though. I tell you that much, but I agree. I don't think it was atrocious, but I didn't care for it all that much. I gave it like a 5 out of 10. It was all right. It had some moments to be all right, but it was very disappointing. One of the most disappointing movies of the year, especially because the marketing was so well done. Dunk's Domain, love the profile picture. Hey, Chris, how would you compare Superman to James Gunn's other films? Is it as good as the Guardians films? That's all going to come down to personal preference, but I mean, I'm probably going to do some sort of Gunn ranking, but if you guys are in here, you get insider info. I do think, after one viewing, right? I've seen the Guardians movies all multiple times. I've seen the Suicide Squad multiple times. It's pretty clear to me that the Guardians trilogy is better than Superman. All 3 of them, to me. but Superman is still a good movie. I like it. I just prefer the Guardians trilogy. I care more about those characters. The Suicide Squad, similar. I feel similarly, and Superman I like, but it's the most. I said this in my review of the 5 movies: Guardians trilogy, the Suicide Squad, and Superman. The 4, right? The Guardians trilogy and the Suicide Squad. They're dealing with sort of obscure, eccentric characters in a way, characters that are oddballs, but you grow to love. And Superman is the most cut and dry, vanilla like character of them all. So it's the most unique in a sense, or I should say, for James Gunn, it's the not least interesting, but in terms of his lead characters in all those movies, like Superman, we all know who Superman is. He's the morally right, face of hope, essentially. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just, it is what it is. I'm a lot more intrigued by the other characters in the other films. That's a personal preference thing, though. But I think Superman is still good. I'm not trying to, pit it against everything else. But I don't think Superman is his best movie, to answer the question. No. Who will be the MVPs of Stranger Things Season 5? Ooh, man. I think Mike's going to have a moment, a return moment. I think, Hopper and Steve always are going to have their moments, but I think of the OGs, I think Mike's really going to have like a turnaround moment because he's sidelined in the last multiple seasons. I think he's really going to have a return to like Season 1, Season 2 form, which is great. Softfan says, thoughts on the new SpongeBob movie trailer? Haven't watched it. Honestly, I've only watched the OG SpongeBob movie and then some OG SpongeBob eps growing up, but I've never watched like is it Sponge Out of Water? I'm going to IMDb. There's multiple SpongeBob movies, right? Didn't they do one recently? Hold up. What is the new one even called? SpongeBob. So there's Sponge on... the new one is Search for SquarePants. Then there was one called Sponge on the Run. And then there was one called Sponge Out of Water. Okay. I'm old. I haven't seen the trailer for it. Honestly, I guess they still make new SpongeBob, huh? Is that right? It was reported today National Treasure 3 is in development. I don't believe you. And I I don't believe any of you is what I'm saying, because for years I've been hearing National Treasure 3, National Treasure 3, and I've been lied to. And Nick Cage had the quote where he's like, if there's a National Treasure 3, it's not with Disney. I'm looking it up on Twitter because I'm not saying that you're all liars, but even development isn't enough for me. I need concrete. Oh, it was via Daniel RPK. Please. I've never dismissed something, faster in my life. He's like, Daniel RPK is wrong a lot of the times. He's one of the big, I guess, leakers, we could call him. I remember he had it was talking about Thunderbolts, and he was like, yeah, Red Guardian and Bucky Barnes are barely in the movie or something like that. He always reports things all the time, hit or miss, but for years since Book of Secrets, we've been getting, National Treasure 3, National Treasure 3. I'll believe it when I see it from Nick Cage himself. Who's the director everyone loves that you just aren't that interested in? For me, it's Wes Anderson. I think I'm with you, Nick. I've seen Grand Budapest, impulsively bought it on sale at the Criterion thing, and I never watched it again. But I'm with you. Like, I don't get excited for new Wes Anderson. I saw French Dispatch in theater. Didn't really do it for me. So I would also agree. I'd say Wes Anderson. It's not really my thing. Another filmmaker whose work I've never seen because I just don't know if it would cater to me is David Lynch. And I know if my buddy Ewan's in here, I think he's a big David Lynch fan, but I've just never been interested. I've heard just based on what I've heard and what I know about my taste, I don't think that I'd be a big David Lynch fan. So I've just never given any of his movies a spin. Intentionally. Just haven't sought them out. Do I think Happy Gilmore 2 will succeed? I think it'll be a big hit on streaming because it is straight to streaming. It's Adam Sandler. A whole generation of people love the original Happy Gilmore. So yeah, I think it'll do well. I think it'll do numbers on streaming. I do think the movie would have done maybe even better in theaters, though. That's a big draw. An Adam Sandler comedy in theaters. It's like a legacy sequel, kind of, with all these celebrities. That would probably do. I don't know what the first Happy Gilmore did. I don't know what But I mean, I don't know what the budget is, but I'm just sitting here thinking right now, a Final Destination movie did almost 300 million. Happy Gilmore 2 in the year 2025, when people are craving original comedies with Sandler on the poster, with trailers showing other people. I mean, it's become kind of a cult film that people love. I would say I could do 200 on for a comedy. That's damn good, right? I'm thinking it could. But it's going straight to Netflix, so it'll do well. I guess we don't really know, honestly. It's weird. Good Dr. Pepper, great. John Williams or Hans Zimmer? John Williams. He's created iconic themes for movies, decades. I mean, for decades now. Hans Zimmer's right there with him. But the when you think Jaws, John Williams music, when you think Jurassic Park, you take away John Williams' theme, and the movies aren't the same. They're characters in and of themselves that enhance the movie and make them as iconic as they are. And it's Star Wars. It's the original theme for Harry Potter. It's Jaws. It's E.T. It's Indiana Jones. It's Jurassic. I mean, it's Superman. Sorry, it's John Williams. He's the GOAT. He's the GOAT. Oh, shoot. Is this a Spree reference? Is this a deep cut right here? The username. Anyone? Kurt's World? Spree fan. Is this a secret Joe Keery page? No, I'm kidding. For those who understand or have seen Spree, you're like, oh, shoot. Cameo from the movie Spree. If not, you're like, what is he talking about? Okay. We're really behind in the chat again, and that's just what happens sometimes. So Super Chat's the way to go to guarantee I get to your question, comment, and concern. Thoughts on The Bear Season 4? Great question. I watched it all last week. I finished it over the weekend. Honestly, I really liked it, guys. It was a big step up for me over Season 3. Season 3 is the clear weak link, but this season, it got back on track. It had multiple just like sweet moments, but also tragic, and the acting in the finale. I mean, the finale, it takes place it's like a one-shot thing kind of in this alley. And it's so well acted. And Jeremy Allen White, I think Iowa Debris gives the best performance of the season though, as Sid. She's already won an Emmy and maybe even 2. I think she's probably going to win another for this season. This is her best performance. I think she's the best of the 3 leads. But even then, I mean, damn, I felt like it had some of the magic back. It's not as good as 1 or 2. I think those 2 are really fantastic seasons, but this was like, if those are like 10 out of 10s, right? And 3 is like a 6, we'll call it. I mean, this is like an 8.5. I mean, it's really good. It's not as good, but you can't really replicate 1 or 2. So yeah, that's my take. I dug it. Quite dug it. Ooh, Dylan with the Stranger Things Keep Watch Burn. For those who don't know what this is, I have to keep one that I can watch whenever I want. Watch one time and burn one and never get to see it. Dear Billy, piggyback Battle Starcourt. Damn. Look, I've said on the record, and I'm gonna live by this. Battle Starcourt is my number 1 app, I think. I'm gonna save that. I'm gonna keep it. It means a lot to me. The Hopper letter being read, I mean, that scene crushes me. I think the 3 finale is my favorite. I'm gonna watch. I mean, this is so brutal, though. I know that a lot of people would be burning Battlestar. I can't do that to the season 3 finale. I watched Dear Billy. Dear Billy is the moment. It is the moment in Stranger Things. I have to experience that. By default, I guess I burn the piggyback. That's disgusting to have to say out loud. I mean, I'm pinned. Anytime I get asked one of these, one of them has to bite the dust. I guess that, I mean, if we're going just straight up, like that's my probably least favorite of those 3 apps, but it's still fantastic, you know? That's what I got to do though. That hurt like hell. That one hurt. Dr. Pepper break. Top 3 most powerful Avengers going to Doomsday. So like any character who's been in an Avengers movie, that's kind of how I'm going to answer this. I'd say Strange. I'd say Thor. I'd say, I don't know. Definitely forgetting some characters, to be honest with you. Those two came to mind first because they're always in the conversation. I mean, Scarlet Witch is technically dead, so I can't say her. She's also a villain. So Strange, Thor, and Captain Marvel, I guess. Owen says, keep watch burn 90 summer blockbusters, Terminator 2, Jurassic Park, Independence Day. Easy for me. I'm keeping Jurassic Park, just rewatched it for the second time. In this year, I've watched the movie twice is what I'm saying. I've seen it more than that in my life. I'm saying I've seen it twice this year alone already. So I'm going to keep that. I'm going to watch T2, which I need to rewatch that movie anyway, and then I'll burn Independence Day. Independence Day's fine. Watched it once in my life. I think that I'm good. One and done. One and done. Carlos says, hey, Chris, what's a character dynamic you want to see explored more in Doomsday? Ooh, great question, and I have an answer for you. There's a picture going around online. I don't know how deep into Marvel pictures you are, not leaks, but kind of. I won't say who it is, but I'm going to answer the question anyway, and it may or may not be who's in the picture. I mean, we know who's in the movie, so it's not really even a spoiler. The Thing, which is Evan Moss Backrack from Fantastic Four. I'm ready to see more of him already. Sight unseen of the Fantastic Four. So I want to see The Thing, and I want to see John Walker. Okay? And that's my answer. And I'm inspired by something I saw on Twitter. That's all I'll say. Very random answer, I know, but that's where I'm at with that. A movie has to be a 3.5 or higher to add to my Blu-ray collection. That's probably pretty valid, man. Now, the exception I've found is if it's a collection of horror movies. For example, Final Destination, right? Like the collection was so cheap that I went ahead and bought it because I know that in the future, like I think some of those movies are schlocky and dumb, and I hate. Like I don't even hate any of them except 4. 4 is an abomination to humanity. But like for example, 3 and 5, or excuse me, 1's really good. 2 I like, but it's like a 2.5. Like some of those movies are like 5 out of 10 movies, but they're in a part of a collection. That's the exception. Like I'll buy that. But like a solo movie that comes out, I agree. Like unless I see myself watching it again relatively soon and like would want to show it to someone or would like want to watch it in the future, there's no need for me to own it. Favorite show / season of the year? Whew, damn, I'm going to go to my notes. I got a note tab for when I get asked this question, but also just in general. So the shows I've seen this year are Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, Cobra Kai Season 6 Part 3, Daredevil Born Again, Invincible Season 3, Severance Season 2, You Season 5, The Studio, The Last of Us Season 2, Squid Game Season 3, and The Bear Season 4. Of those, the best I've seen, it's really close between probably Severance and The Studio. Squid Game's up there though. I like the final season. I like The Bear. I mean, that's tough. Gun to my head, I can only pick one. I don't know. I don't know. That's too tough. It's too tough. Maybe Severance? I don't know. It's damn difficult. Damn difficult. Favorite Stranger Things deep cut character with his super chat from DMUT Sports. Thank you for the super chat. Deep cut, that means like not a main, right? Mr. Clark's usually a go-to for something like this. I think that he is the answer here. That's the boy's teacher, and he makes appearances in a lot of season 1, actually. Rich just rewatched episode 6. We got an exclusive Stranger Things Rewind episode coming to Patreon this week for episode 6 of season 1. And Mr. Clark's in that briefly, but Mr. Clark's my answer here. Another deep cut character that I actually like. Let's see. I mean, he's my go-to. And that's the answer. Who's another? Someone who like has moments to shine. No, I don't like that character. I was about to say, but I was like, no, I don't like him that much. We'll go with Mr. Clark. I don't know if that's as deep cut as you guys would hope, but it's not like one of the main characters of the show. All right. Where was I? I was somewhere around here, so we're just going to roll with it. Let's hit a real true speed round. I believe we can do it. I believe. Let's find the chat where we were. By the way, if you guys are in here, hit that like button. Helps out a lot. And again, super chat is the way to go to guarantee I get your question, comment, and or concern. I'm trying to find a good one to start this little speed round with. Where are we at? Somewhere. All right, I answered that. A lot of these are repeats. Oh, here we go. AB, you've been playing CAB 26? I have not purchased it yet. I don't know if I'm going to. I think I'm content with if I get the itch to keep playing, I'll just play CFB 25 and save the money because I'm not trying to, what is it, 70 or $80? I think I'm good right now, just to keep playing the one I've been playing. So I'm kind of with that. Sorry, something in my throat. Let me take a sip of Dr. Pepper real quick. Okay, so yeah, I haven't bought it yet, and I don't know if I'm going to. Hey, Chris, would you be okay with the 5 main kids surviving Stranger Things? The world has spent the last decade watching these kids as actors grow on screen. I'm struggling to believe the others would fully commit. I'm totally fine with them all living. I don't think that any of the kids necessarily need to die, nor do I think they fully will. If anyone, it's between like Will and 11, but I think that the kids living and through this time and having the story to tell, it would be probably the most satisfying ending. Like, did you want all the Guardians to die in Guardians 3? I mean, none of them did, right? And so it still worked, but it felt final and it was still emotional. And so that's always a comparison I make. And I think that no, I'd be totally fine if none of the kids died. I think someone's got to die. That doesn't mean have to be one of the kids, but like someone will die this season. Someone has to pay the price, and it might not be one of the kids, but we'll see. We'll see. I don't think that F1 will be nominated for Best Picture, and I don't know if Sinners will be either. Is that a hot take? I think that a lot of movies that are going to get nominated have not come out yet. I think Avatar will get nominated. Maybe that Springsteen movie will get nominated. The Luca Guadagnino movie will get nominated. The Paul Thomas Anderson movie will get nominated. That's 4 spots right there for movies that haven't even come out yet. Then you factor in, I mean, Sinners has a chance, certainly. F1, it'd be like the 10 slot if it gets nominated, I think. But it's just, sometimes the Oscars nominate like a couple mainstream movies just to like maintain some viewership, if you want. And that's my take on it. But F1 and Sinners could be the popular picks to get nominated, certainly. I have not seen Ironheart yet. I know I addressed this earlier, but I haven't seen it yet. Thoughts on the Monsterverse? Like as in Godzilla X Kong, the New Empire? Not a fan. And I think that a lot of people like those movies. I don't at all. Not a fan. Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul? Better Call Saul, baby. I know. Crazy to say, and I might not even fully believe that, but that's where I've leaned the past few years. I want to do a rewatch of both. That's a time commitment, and especially for something I've already seen. But man, Better Call Saul hits. It hits. It really does. Stranger Things or Wednesday? Stranger Things, for sure. I like Wednesday. It's a fun show, but Stranger Things I'm obsessed with. Sully, I don't know if you're still in here. This was 30 minutes ago, but hey, man, welcome in. What's your most anticipated announced? What's your most anticipated announced DCU project? I'm going with Swamp Thing movie. That's a good pick. That's a good pick for sure. I would say, what is announced? Let me go look. I haven't looked at that in a minute. I remember they announced a ton of stuff, and some of it apparently has been scrapped. But DCU projects. Booster Gold was one that was announced. The Authority was one that was announced. I feel like there's been no movement on that. I'm looking right now at the lineup. I would say, honestly, dude, we're getting Supergirl next year and Clayface. I'm not like over the moon about either of those. Probably, shoot. Is it cheating to say Peacemaker season 2? Yeah, I might lean that, honestly, man, which is kind of a cop-out answer. Maybe the new Batman movie just to see the Brave and the Bold, just to see who they cast. Because I'm always going to be excited for new Batman, even if it's terrible. It's Batman, dude. So probably one of those two. Swamp Thing is interesting, though. It is interesting. Keep Watch Burn. Actually, I already answered that one. Let's see. Sinners or Bloodlines, someone asks. So Cam was rewatching Bloodlines the other day with a commentary track, so I just was in the room and watched some of it, and I think I would rewatch Bloodlines more than Sinners. I'm not on the Sinners hype train like everyone else. I liked the movie. It seems like, I guess it's similar to Superman, I guess, in the sense that like I liked both movies. I don't view either as some like all-time, life-changing experience. I liked them both, but that's just how I feel about and Sinners especially. I mean, people have acted, and many people feel this way, that it's like the best movie of the century. I've seen that take by many people. I'm not on that train, but I'd say I personally would probably, and I know I rated them differently. Star ratings, I mean, what do they really mean after a week? Opinions change over time, but Bloodlines is a movie that I see myself going back to more in the future. Favorite Jurassic Park / World character? Pretty easy answer for me. Alan Grant, the man himself, the face of the first movie, the main character of the first movie. He's the man. He's the man. And maybe because I see some Indiana Jones in him, but love the character, his voice. He's just great. He's great. All right. Do you want a Rebirth trilogy? Someone asks. I don't. I want them to do something entirely new in the next Jurassic movie. Maybe even drop the world. Get back to the basics for real this time. For real, like horror, adventure, but don't make it so grand. It doesn't need to involve mutants. I don't know. There are cool concepts at play in Rebirth, but it's just frustrating. It frustrates me for sure. Where are we at in the chat though? Have you seen I Know What You Did Last Summer? I have not seen I Know What You Did Last Summer, but I'm seeing it next week. I'll be watching the first two. I guess there's a third before that, but yeah, I'll be checking it out next week. I Know What You Did Last Summer, a week from today, technically. So we'll see if it's any good or not. I have no real read on the original film because I haven't seen it. So interesting for sure. I've heard mixed things about the original films. I've heard that they're not all that. I've heard they're solid, fun. No idea what to expect with the original I Know What You Did Last Summer. So am I excited for The Bear season 5? Yes, definitely. My excitement for that show is back. Definitely is. Definitely is. All right, let's see. Who wins in Endgame? Captain Marvel versus Infinity War, or Endgame? Captain Marvel versus Infinity War Thor? That's a good question. That's so brutal. I think Captain Marvel is so strong. I think I have to go Captain Marvel there, but I don't know. Thor is a god. I might have to go Thor, actually. I don't know. That's almost like a flip a coin moment. You know what? My answer is cop out. Whoever the writers want to win. Oh, man. Am I excited for Avatar 3? Someone asks. Not really. I'm not a huge Avatar fan at all. I haven't visited Skull Rock. That's one of the Stranger Things locations in Georgia that I actually haven't gone to. Someone says, "Yo, I really like your channel." Well, I appreciate that. Please answer this question. Can you do a Halloween franchise ranking soon? I'm not really a Halloween guy. I've seen the first from the 70s and then the new trilogy, but I haven't seen anything else. And so I'm not really a Halloween fan. I really liked the first when I first watched it, and I liked the 2018 film. Didn't care for kills or ends, and that kind of derailed my entire enjoyment of it. And then, I mean, like every franchise out there, if you encounter some people who are kind of, I don't know what the word is. If you encounter certain fans of franchises, it can be off-putting, the whole experience. I'm looking at Transformers for reference, but yeah, like I remember there was this, yeah, not getting into it, but anyway, where was I in the chat? There I was. Okay. Ooh, favorite scene from every Jurassic movie. I mean, That's too tough to answer for all of them. I would say for Jurassic Park 3, I would go with the pterodactyl cage scene. That's really intense. The second movie's got to be like the bus / camper scene, and the first movie is the whole movie. There you go. Have you seen The Godfather 3? I haven't. I literally have never seen this movie because I don't really want to. I've seen the first two, both more than once. I just don't have any desire to watch the third. I've heard it's awful. Favorite David Leitch film? I think it's Bullet Train. I think I lean Bullet Train. I don't know. I have a lot of fun with that movie. It's not a guilty pleasure, but I know a lot of people don't love it, but I quite like it. Favorite Spielberg film? I mean, I'm doing a journey through his filmography right now, but you guys know that Raiders and Jaws are really close to the top of that list. Real close to the top of that list. I love Spree. I did a reaction on the channel years ago now, two or 3 years ago, and had a lot of fun with it. It's a fun, I don't know if it's a rewatch movie, but it's an interesting one watch for sure. Favorite Star Wars movie? The OG, the one that started it all. Gotta be. Are you going to finish your Disney Pixar run? Oh, the Disney animated journey I was on. One day I will. I think the last one was Princess and the Frog. I was doing a rewatch and watch through for the first time of all of the, what's it called? The freaking, what's it called? The animated movies, right? It was leading up to Wish, and then I kind of fell off with it. But I just never picked back up with it. So no, I got to get on that. Maybe a Forza Utopia. No guarantees though. Should I watch Wednesday season 2? If you've seen season 1, certainly. Sentry is an Avenger now. I mean, you make a good point there. I totally forgot about that. Sentry is definitely up there. He's in the conversation. Are you at all interested in the HBO The Last of Us season 3 with it being Abby's POV? Also, how are you feeling about the casting for Abby and Ellie? I like the casting fine enough, but regarding season 3, I think they made a mistake by splitting this show, the interpretation of the second game, into so many seasons. They should have made it a long season of TV, which, I mean, 16 episodes would have been sufficient probably. What would we get, 7? I mean, what is the next one going to be? 6? That's 13. Yeah, they could have made a long season and tackled the whole thing. And just, my pitch for it was always they should change the order and have like Abby flashbacks all throughout the season, as opposed to just having Ellie and then Abby. It's kind of a mess, honestly. They've kind of screwed themselves, in my opinion, and it's alarming. Triple feature next year, December 18th. Dune, Avengers Doomsday, Dune Part 3, and Ice Age 6. Keep, watch, burn those movies. Ice Age 6 is getting burned. I'm sorry. I like the first 3. I didn't care for 4 all that much when I watched it on a plane for the first time, surprisingly, and then I never saw 5. So I'm kind of out of the Ice Age movies. I may revisit some for fun, but Ice Age 6 can be burned. I'll watch Dune 3 because, to me, I don't go back to Dune movies that much, but I want to see how the trilogy ends, and then I will keep Doomsday because that's a movie that, even if I don't like it, I'm gonna watch multiple times still. It's just one of those movies that you're gonna, it's gonna be the conversation. It's an Avengers movie. Yeah, I'm gonna want to watch that at least twice, so I'll keep it. All right. We'll probably go a little bit longer here and then wrap it up. So if you want to guarantee that I get your question, comment, concern, you got a question that you're dying for me to answer, Super Chat is the way to go to guarantee that I get to it. Of course, hit that like button if you're in here live or on the replay. It helps out a lot. And then, yeah, we'll keep it on. All right. All righty. Thoughts on the VIPs in Squid Game 3? I think I've seen a lot of people talking about this, and I don't, people are like, they're the worst actors in the world, and like, that's beyond. I mean, like, if you watch season 1, the VIPs are cringy there as well. They're supposed to be. They're these out of touch billionaires, and also, have people ever, in my opinion, people are, it ruined the show. It's the same as in season 1. The show is not an American show. And so the portrayal, I mean, these American people, they're not supposed to be great actors, I think, intentionally. They're also behind masks and just delivering lines. So they're very out of touch people. it's a very strange thing to get so caught up on Twitter that I've seen. I saw someone make a TikTok being like, this ruined it for me. Well, then you must not have watched season 1 since 2021, right? I mean, they're cringe there too, and they're very much supposed to be. That's my thought on it. I mean, it wasn't any different than season 1 to me with the VIPs. All right. Hey, Chris, how excited are you for Avengers Doomsday? The cast is great and the sets they've used sound good too. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to the movie. No secret. My excitement levels have waned over the months, and it depends on the day, really. But I mean, Fantastic Four is really gonna be important in cementing the excitement for this movie because it's the last movie before Doomsday, which there's a lot riding on it, honestly. Can we see your shirt? Yes. There you go. It's a Spider-Man shirt. It's from Disney from back in the day. Disneyland, that is, I think 2021. I've never heard of Wayne. Who would be your top choice to play James Gunn's Batman? If we aren't going the Pattinson route, I don't really have a good answer for you. People have thrown out Jensen Ackles time and time again. I don't think he's going to do it. People have thrown out Glenn Powell, too big of a name to do it. I would say get someone a little more low key. I'll tell you who I don't want, and I'm not like a hater of this person. I just want to mention that I don't want them to play Batman right now. Is Brandon Sklenar, the dude from Drop. I watched Drop, and every single performance in that movie was cardboard to me, and I just couldn't handle it. So I do not want that guy to play him. I know that's a fan cast I've seen. I don't want that. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see who ends up playing Batman. I don't even have a suggestion right now, to be honest with you. Carson says, I watched the Chris Reeves Soups movie for the first time, and it feels like Raimi ripped off those first 3 films. There's definitely inspiration, but I don't think that it's like a beat for beat thing. And also I watched Superman 3 yesterday, and yeah, there's like an evil Superman plot where he gets like turned, kind of like much like how the symbiote does in Spider-Man, but it's not as direct as people are saying. There's inspiration for sure. I think very evidently there's that Raimi was inspired, but it's definitely not a ripoff in my opinion. Especially when you just look at the villains of the movies, right? And the themes. I mean, yeah, the big similarity, you could go, okay, in the second movie of both, there's like the main character loses their powers for a bit. In the third, for like relationship purposes, right? In the third movie, there's a symbiote, and then there's like this type of kryptonite that Superman like turns evil with. Very kind of confusing, if I'm being honest. And the first movie is like your pure origin story with similarities for sure, but I don't think that you can say it's a ripoff, in my opinion, at least. Inspired by, yes, but even all the great filmmakers are inspired by those of the past. Like Tarantino has taken tons of shots from other movies, and then you go back, Spielberg's definitely taken inspiration. So it's not like a ripoff to me, but I do see what you're saying. There's heavy inspiration. Do I think Squid Game USA will be good? Call me crazy. I do. I actually am looking forward to this show, especially if Fincher's involved, guys. Especially if Fincher's involved. I'm not even, if this is referring to the Halloween thing, I'm talking about a different person. Trust me, not you. A different encounter, my friend. Don't worry. I was not talking about my mod Starcourt when I was talking about the Halloween stuff. Okay. Hello, Charging Eagle. Can I do a room tour 2025? Potentially. Do I think James Gunn will resurrect the canceled Batgirl movie? I think that thing's gone. It's long gone. Didn't they like destroy all the copies of it too? Like it's just donezo. Tragic, but I think it's a thing of the past. I think it's gonzo, which is a bummer. I would have loved to see the final product. Superman or Harry Potter? Just like as a character, Harry Potter. I'm more interested in. And yeah, I think I'm Harry Potter. I take Harry Potter over Superman as a character. I've never seen the Matrix sequels, only the first Matrix, and I kind of want to keep it that way. Carson says, hey, Chris, been watching your channel and this live silently since June 2022 until this year. Well, Carson, I've noticed, engagement in the chats and in the comments, so I appreciate that, Is anyone else a silent watcher who wants to be a first-time live chat commenter? Let me know. Rebirth or Stranger Things at the Lost Sister? The Lost Sister episode. It's still Stranger Things at the end of the day, as cringe as it is. Hey, Chris, a few streams ago, you requested I draw a Green Goblin, and you told me to tag you, and I did. Oh, shoot. What platform? I'll have to check that out. What platform? Let me know. We got a super chat here from Jaeger. Thank you, Jaeger. Love the Thing profile picture. Not to be confused with Fantastic Fours. We're talking John Carpenter, baby. Wayne is a 2019 TV series. It's 10 episodes, and I binged it in a day. Very funny, and the performances are amazing. If you have time, it's a great binge. I think you'd really enjoy it. Ooh, okay. Let's look it up right now. Wayne. Wayne is a 2019 show. You were 100% correct. And it looks like it's a Prime original. I don't know much else besides that. I don't recognize any of the actors. I don't recognize any names attached to it. But a 16-year-old with a heart of gold sets out on a small 2-stroke road bike from Boston to Florida with his new friend, Dell, to retrieve the 79 Trans Am that was stolen from his father before he died. So it's like a road trip type thing. I dig that. Sounds like it might have elements of, say, it might have some adventure to it, some coming-of-age vibes, maybe some Dazed and Confused, maybe some, weirdly enough, Smokey and the Bandit. Tell me I'm wrong. No, interesting setup. I hadn't heard of it until now, though. But that's the cool thing about these streams. You learn something new every day. Learn something new every stream. There was another show so Wayne is one that was mentioned. The Institute is one that was mentioned. So yeah, you learn. I hadn't heard of these. Word of mouth, the power of word of mouth, right there. Thoughts on the Rambo movies? The first one's really well done. 2 is like anything else is fine. I think Last Blood is atrocious though. But the others are watchable. 3 is kind of a snoozer. 4 has some absolutely grotesque moments. Like there's limbs getting blown off. It's gross out, violent. And then 2 2's fun. So I don't remember what I rated all of them, but the first one's definitely the best to me. You only need to watch the first 2 Summer movies? Yes. I will only watch those 2 then. Because I've heard there's a third that's abysmal, and I will not be checking that out, so I'll just do the first 2. Who wins, Season 4 Steve or Season 2 Billy? Season 2 Billy was unhinged, and I think he probably could beat up anyone if he put his mind to it, because there was nothing holding him back. There was no sanity. He was really gone, and he would mess someone up. So I might have to lean with him in a fight. Sadly, I love my boy Steve, but you guys know. I've seen Fear Street. I watched the trilogy and Prom Queen for the first time in May. I actually did commentary tracks on my Patreon where you guys can sync up and watch along with me. Had a lot of fun with that. Am I excited for the Legend of Zelda movie? I don't know, honestly. I've never really played a lot of Zelda in my life. So yeah, I think I had one game. What was it called? It was on GameCube. My brother played it more than me. I never really got into it. So to get excited about a movie, I can't, but it's intriguing. I'm just not, it's one of those things that everyone has the fandoms they haven't really been a part of or experienced or explored. This is one for me, really. I have vague memories of my brother playing that game on GameCube. What was it called? Wind something? Legend of Zelda, Wind. I just looked it up to see if I could find out. Legend of Zelda, Wind Waker. The Wind Waker, it looks like. This was the cover. This game right here is the one that I had at my house growing up. It looks like it's going for like $100 right now on GameCube. Well, my brother has it. He played a lot of it growing up. I never really got into it though. Anyway, fun questions. Almost been an hour and a half. These things fly by. Ooh, Carson says rank these 3 directors based on their work in comic book movies. Nolan, Gunn, the Russos. Oh, you've got the Russos who did Infinity War, Endgame, Civil War, and Winter Soldier. You've got Gunn, who's proven he can do it with Marvel and DC, and you got Nolan with the Dark Knight trilogy. Ranking these by their work in comic movies, I think Nolan's my favorite of the 3 directors, but hear me out on why I'm going to rank these the way I rank them. Gunn would probably be 1 because of the versatility, right? Marvel and DC, Guardians trilogy, the Suicide Squad, and then he tackled a Superman movie. So he's done like 3 distinctly different types of superhero movies, plus he's done shows. So I think Gunn would go 1. I think I would go Nolan 2. I think Nolan's by far the best director of the 3, and it's not even up for debate. But if we're just looking at the Dark Knight trilogy, that trilogy rules. It is consistent across the board, but it's like one big trilogy, whereas Gunn is able to do it, I guess, with different genres, somewhat different ratings. Like he had an R-rated movie in there, some PG-13. So I guess that's why I'd go Nolan 2, but he did a lot for Batman. And then the Russos would go bottom, but here's why. The Russos outside of the comic movie genre haven't done anything, so it has me suspicious. And I wonder how much is them, how much is Feige, how much are the writers. Like that's why I'm concerned. So I guess that's how I'd rank them, honestly. Which villains would you like to see in the Batman 2? I'm kind of here for some Hush. Mr. Freeze would be fun, but I don't know if it would fit the tone. Don't know if it would fit the tone, though. Stream 7, I'm asking you to watch Super 8. One more to go. Shoot. That is right. I said at the 8th stream I'd maybe watch it. We shall see. Oh, man. Almost out of Diet Dr. Pepper. Keep Watchburn Superman actors. I don't want to answer that one. I have to watch Man of Steel tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to watch Man of Steel. So I won't answer it until I've seen that. Even then, that's a lot of pressure. A lot of pressure right there. Let's see. Okay. Thoughts on that? Mac and cheese is delicious, someone says. I agree. Any idea when the next trainings video is? Hopefully, we get that footage next week, or they announce like here teaser coming tomorrow. That'll probably be the next one, honestly. That would be great. Absolutely great. Do I plan on finishing X-Men 97? I need to badly. I have 4 episodes left, I believe. Or 3. I need to get on that. I really do. Where was I? Sorry. Lost my spot a little bit in here. Just kind of doing a jump around moment on the chat. We're probably going to end in about 3 minutes. So fire off your last minute questions. I'll get to as many of them as I can. Super chat's the way to go to guarantee that I see your questions. Also a huge way to help support the channel. And hit that like button if you guys are in here live or on the replay. Thoughts on the new Fear Street's easily the worst of the 4 by far. And I probably was too generous to the movie. I gave it 3 stars. It's probably worse than that. Am I excited more for Squid Game US or Wednesday Season 2? Probably Wednesday Season 2 because it's closer and we don't really have an idea of what US Squid Game is going to be. But I only say that because it's closer. You know what I mean? I have not seen The Tick. Who do I think is going to die in Season 5? All of them. No, I'm kidding. Ooh, Keep Watch Burn Best Picture winners: Titanic, Oppenheimer, Return of the King. I will burn Titanic. I will watch... I think I'll watch Oppie, and I'll keep Return of the King because I want to be able to rewatch the whole trilogy. Super random. Mac and cheese or cheesy potatoes? Mac and cheese. But I quite like some cheesy potatoes, specifically like my light just went out. That's my sign that the stream's about to end. That's a window light right here. One of my lights just went out, so now it's just backlighting. That thing lasts an hour and a half, and I turned it on 2 minutes before the stream. So yeah, that's the signal right there, the bat signal. Oh, cool. I will take note of this and try and remember it. Jaeger, not Jaeger. Cool. Jaeger. Cool. Noted. Would you rather redo the sequel trilogy or Alien 3 and 4, or the sequel trilogy? Because Star Wars just means more to me, and that could have truly been a great trilogy. Because I thought The Force Awakens set it up so well. After watching Superman, has your box office prediction changed? I initially think I had it making like the most it could make was like 600 million. Excuse me. I think it'll now make, and I said this before the movie came out to a friend, I want to say, I think it could make its ceiling is now 800 million. It won't do $1 billion. It's not even going to open as big as I think Lilo and Stitch, Minecraft, or Jurassic, but it could do 700 to 800 million would be my prediction now, probably. I have not seen the TMNT show from the 80s. I hope to get around to Life of Chuck, hopefully like by the end of, the year so that I can include it on a list, but we shall see. Ooh, keep watch Burn, Oppenheimer, Barbie, Titanic. Keep Oppenheimer, watch Titanic, Burn, Barbie. MCU Doctor Doom time X Iron Man thoughts, like seeing them on screen together. I don't know. I don't think I want RDJ to play Iron Man ever again because of how perfect the ending was. Even if it's a variant, it's too risky to butcher that ending or mess up that ending in retrospect. Would I rather watch Godfather 3 or Matrix sequels? Probably Godfather 3, just to like say I've seen the whole trilogy finally. But even then, apologies for this, by the way. The window, the sun. It's raining. It's sunny and it's raining outside. What? Hold on. That's absurd. That's so random that it's just somehow raining outside in the sun. It's bizarre. Yeah, I'd probably go Godfather 3. Do a fan cast video for DCU's Justice League. Never say never. I'll take note of this for sure and consider doing that. I just took a picture of it, so I hopefully maybe remember. But we'll see. But that kind of does it, I think, for the stream. I think that's going to do it for this live Q&A. I think that was a fun one, though. For about an hour and a half. Good times all around. Thank you guys for being here live or on the replay. Of course, hit that like button if you're in here live or on the replay. I don't know where we're at. I always like to try and get 100 likes. Let's see if we can do it over 100 likes on the stream by hitting that like button. And thank you if you commented. If it was your first time in here, if you commented for the first time, if you send a super chat, any of that, it truly does mean the world. I got a Superman ranking coming soon, so be on the lookout for that. Real excited for that video. It'll be a big one. And then obviously, hopefully some Stranger Things stuff next week with the trailer. Hopefully, fingers crossed. But that'll do it. Thank you guys, as always, for watching. And until next time, I will see you guys later.